Hello everyone, welcome back to Dad's Gaming, ZHP 2004 here. And today I'm going to bring you something a little different than the normal lobby races. This was a private event for the IFCA. I was invited along by someone looking for a teammate. This is a team event. It's run a little different than anything else that I've run before, where you do stints, if you will. So we're just lining up here on the initial lap, and we were going to be starting second, right there in the red 70 Challenger. So we're going to total of 25 laps in the race, but the first lap being the parade lap. And there we go, we're lining up on the outside. As soon as we cross the start-finish line, we're going to get things going here. And away we go. So very interesting builds on these cars. It's kind of like a Trans Am series, but if you will, imagine 60s and 70s muscle cars. Everybody kind of jockeying for position there. We got one spin out, but everybody kind of gets through. But if you will, 60s, 70s muscle cars, but with modern race car underpinnings, meaning race suspensions, race drive lines, race tires, big V8s, and all these cars have been, spec builds, meaning they already have, certain parts that have been tested thoroughly by the creators of this race. So, not saying that all the cars are equal on every track. Some have a little better handling, some probably have some more top end, but over the course of a season, the cars should balance themselves out. Now, like I said, when I got invited to this, my teammate was running the 70 Challenger, so that's what I hopped in the night before and did some testing and tuning. As you can see, Team Penske. So we're running along here in 4th place after starting out in 1st. But again, this is going to be a long race. It's total 24 laps. So the way this is different is you're not actually out here running with your teammate for the first 2/3 of the race, shall we say. You go out, one teammate goes out, does a series of laps. Your other teammate is actually sitting down there in the pits. As you can see, some of the cars sitting there, as we have a really good battle going on right here behind me for 5th, 6th, 7th. And so we have another team in another Challenger. Got a 65 Mustang, the 69 Mustang. So all really good cars. We got a Dodge Dart back there. There's a Ford Falcon in here somewhere also. We'll probably be seeing them pop up here at one point or another. But we're here, lap 3 basically, and these guys are going hard. So this is really kind of for any skill level, shall we say. The creators of this at IFCA, you actually have 2 different builds, and the way you're determined as to which build you go into is you have a driver ranking, points ranking. IFCA has driver rankings for all of their series, as well as the more popular publicized series, including the FRC. So all the FRC drivers have actually been ranked in this system here. So if you've ever taken part in an FRC or WEC series, I will link to the website down in the description. You guys can check it out and see overall how you fare. So we see somebody diving into the pits there early. They're going to swap out drivers. So however many laps the first driver does, let's say you do 4 laps and you come in and pit, then the second driver is going to go out, do 4 laps. He's going to come in and pit. You have 2 mandatory pit stops, plus a pit stop at lap 14. So this way every driver is going to basically do two stints, and then at the end, the fun really kind of kicks off, where both drivers on the team are going to go out and complete the final 10 laps. But here I am, I'm closing in on, that's FRB Miles in front of me there. We had a pretty good battle going for a while. And we have that Mustang coming up behind me. That's Carrot. And we kind of ran like this for, I think, like 2 laps or so. And you're not in a lobby with everybody. You're only in a lobby with your teammate. So you can talk strategy and kind of help each other out if you can, you know, keep an eye on who's pitting, when they're pitting, because you don't know where you're actually running until you get to the end of the race. So your position on the track halfway through this race, it might say you're 6th. Well, you're more than likely not 6th. You might be, you know, top in the race. You might be further back in the race. You don't know, but it's really cool the way that this sorts out. So yeah, we're kind of running along here, and we were talking, and thought it best maybe to pit and get out of the you know, traffic here. And you know, Miles, he had the exact same, him and his teammate had the exact same plan as we did. So we go in just behind him. Now there's my teammate sitting there. That's GT Don 2. So he's just waiting, and when I come out of the pits, I'm going to basically tag, quote-unquote tag. So as soon as I drive past him there, he's going to get the green light to go. I'm going to stop and turn around and wait at the end of the pit lane there. Now he's going to go out and do his first stint of laps, whether it's 4 laps, 5 laps, 6 laps, whatever your strategy you and your teammate are, that's what you guys are going to do. So he had a little better pace than I did. My pace wasn't terrible, but as you can see, we managed to get out just in front of our closest competition there, which was kind of nice. And Don, he was able to put a little bit of pace into this car and really stretch its legs, so to speak. The front 3, or 2, I'm sorry, front 2 at this point, because technically I think we're 3rd overall. They've kind of scooted away in their 69 Mustangs. They really strong teams with Chevy Power, Bananas, Latte Speed, and there's one more gentleman, and I'm sorry, I don't have his name up at the moment. So, but we do have, you know, as you can see here, a great selection of cars. There's another 65 Mustang. One of the rules being that you and your teammate are going to, you know, be in the same car. And during the first 3 races, at one point or another, you and your teammate can choose to, you know, change your car. But after that, you guys are kind of locked into it. So there we go. We got another 65 Mustang. Pretty crazy paint job on that one. I'm kind of digging it. And we got that Ford Falcon back there. And another Challenger. But yeah, like I said, so there's 2 different builds for each car. You have a factory build and your privateer build. Now the factory build is for, I guess, a little lower rated driver. And there's a cutoff number that they use for that. Just like there was almost a cutoff there, but he backs out. So the factory cars have a little more power. They give the lower rank guys, you know, a bit of a boost, especially on the straightaways. So it kind of levels the playing field, where they might not be as quick, you know, driving through the corners and stuff. They can certainly make up for it on the straightaways, where the higher rank guys have a what they call privateer build. So basically no factory backing on that one. But again, it is a spec build, so there are certain parts that you run on these cars. Not so much as far as the tune goes. The tune is still up to you. As long as you're using those parts, you can build within whatever your car will allow, where we have a great battle here going down into the bus stop. And that's I think that's one shot there. He just kind of drove it a little deep into the bus stop, backed out, let Nova back through. So well played there by both guys. Nice to see some good racing. So, I mean, there might be laps here where you don't see another guy on the track for your whole stint. You might be in a battle your whole stint with a guy, but he may not be your direct competitor. Now here we go. Don just came in. I'm going back out for my second stint. And just drive a little wide into turn 1, but we're going to get going here. And again, there's probably our closest competitor right now in the Falcon. And they kept me honest this race, because if I slowed up too much, and they were definitely going to be all over me. I was thankful Don was able to give us some room there. But there's one of the front two teams right there in the 69 Mustang. Those guys were really quick. And, a little bit of brake lock up there. I mean, they're pushing hard. They're pushing real hard. So, yeah, we kind of go back and forth like this for quite a while through the race. Where, you might be battling somebody. I think the Falcon and us, for the most part, when I was running out there, we're probably within 7 seconds of each other. And there's the other 69 Mustang team. I believe that might be the second place team there. Not sure if it's the first or the second place team. I don't know. The teams, they were kind of 1-2 the entire night. But we just kind of fought our hardest. We going into this, we knew that these guys were going to be quick, and we're just trying to go for as many points as we can. The point system, you have a regular scoring system, but they also have penalty systems and bonus point systems. So you can lose points for reckless driving, pushing people off, bump and runs, egregious track cutting, consistent track cutting, not running in the same car as your teammate. That unfortunately happened. But then you get bonus points for, having the fastest lap in the race. You can get a bonus point for the week for having the fastest qualifying lap for the race. They also have a support race in the middle of the week. If you attend that, that's points that go towards your team also. So it really helps to get involved and really work with your teammate and be able to make the events and make the most out of each event. And here I go, I'm finishing up my second stint there, and at this point I'm just waiting on, he did his second stint, so now we're both going to go. He just left the pits again, caught me napping, and so I was a little late getting out. But now it's going to be basically a 10 lap dash to the end of this race. And one other thing, the fuel and tire wear are turned on, so fuel not an issue, but tires, well, tires, by the end of this my car was screaming. I mean, 6 laps on the tires, I was in pretty good shape. By 8 laps I was feeling it. In the last 2 laps I'm kind of just, you'll see I'm kind of just hanging on to it. And you'll see the distance meters down there on the left-hand side. As far as at this point, you kind of know where you're going to be at the end of the race, more or less, because the guys in front of you, pretty much they're already out there running together. You're out there running together. So wherever you're coming out of the pits would tend to go. Gives you a really good idea as to where you are versus your competition. And right now, the way it's shaped up, The first two guys are teammates. The second two guys are teammates. Don and I, we're running 5th, 6th, so we're the third team in the running. Then we got I believe the Ford Falcon's right behind us, within, I think, 7 to 9 seconds. And right there, I mean, my tires are just junk, and I overcooked turn 1. In a way, I was kind of thinking, oh, well, we're done after lap 24, that there was a cool down lap, and he's like, no, he's like, keep going. So I had to recompose myself for one more lap. So it was really heart-wrenching, because I'm watching that time of the guy behind me, and it's slowly creeping down. And it was good fun. I really enjoyed this. I'm glad I was invited along. But if you guys want to, look into something like this, they run a bunch of other series. They have, a more modern day sports car series that they run, or a Trans Am series. They also have upcoming in June is what they call their Triple Crown event, which uses cars like the old T70 Lola, the Ford GT40, the Chaparral, and cars like that. That ought to be a neat event. I'm going to see if maybe I can work that into my schedule if time allows. But again, that's another team-based endurance race where you actually need 3 drivers for that. But overall, this one was good. We kind of finished, well, not kind of, but we did finish basically 3rd as a team. So, hats off to the guys that, kind of blew our doors off. Thanks to everybody that ran in the race that night. Good fun, really good group of guys. But, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this one. If you have any questions, don't be afraid, send me a message. But like, comment, tell your friends, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.